If you are aspiring manga artists out there and you want to know how to draw manga, this video is for you. Hey guys, Darius Hironori here with Hironori's AASFF. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and all the links of everything that I talk about will be down in the description below. Basically, I'm going to go over the characteristics behind how to develop the theme for your manga. So originality is key to drawing your manga. Originality between manga artists is one of the most important keys to drawing manga that you hold as a manga artist. Originality and creativity. But there are some structural rules and meaning behind your artistic choices that you make when you draw manga that helps develop the theme of your overall story. First step in creating the manga is creating the story. You want to know the actual story behind your manga before you start doing the illustrations. Based off of what type of story you have, there are actually different styles and different types of illustrations that help bring your specific story to life. Firstly are the characters. The first way to develop your characters is you want to jot down on a piece of paper a little bit of everything, basically building a persona for the characters, like their hobbies, their goals, their characteristics as far as their appearance, their family history. Creating that character is basically the character development process, and jotting those things down will help bring your character to life, and that actually helps in the process of creating your characters within your story. Next thing you want to focus on is the setting. The setting is a very important piece of a manga to get the story across. Where someone lives can define their choices or habits or even their personality. If the world is made up, try to draw a map of the way that you think your world should be. You could go visit a site called Incarnate where you can digitally draw a map of your world for free. Next thing you want to focus on is the story outline. The story should showcase your characters and be built around who they are. An overarching plot is necessary, but with the setting in mind. Make sure you have the story follow the genre, the theme, and the logistics of the location. And guys, don't be afraid to experiment with your outline, even if it changes up along the way, because your outline could be miles away from your finishing story or the finishing plot that you have set up for the story. So you just want to make sure you have something to start with. Now, creating the format. All comics have similar formatting. Paneling is seen across each genre with slight variations. So what stands out about manga is the fast pace of each scene. For example, there should be only 3 speech bubbles in each panel. So panel layouts can be different dimensions, different size. It can fade in, fade out. Your panels should be thought of as camera angles. Each is its own shot and it should approach the scene from different viewpoints. Next is understanding manga iconology. Depending on the type of manga, all Japanese comics have overlapping themes and icons for different situations. These symbols unite the genre, and by knowing them, you can draw in the style fluently. So I'm going to give you guys a list of things to pay attention to for distinguishing a look of a character. And don't forget, this list is actually in the article linked down below in the description. For facial features, the first thing you want to pay attention to are the eyes. The eyes are always drawn larger than other countries' comics. Research was actually done on facial features showing that a more childlike face is what determines the attractiveness or cuteness of an actual character. Manga basically started using large eyes in about the 1960s. If the eyes are big, it represents beauty and innocence. But if the eyes are drawn squint, then it basically represents like an evil persona. Next is the nose. So the nose in the manga are the opposite of eyes. The nose in the mangas are drawn small. A front-faced woman in the manga, sometimes the nose is not apparent at all. Otherwise, a small L is just drawn for the nose. In other situations, something like a nosebleed basically signifies that the character is turned on, or like a snot bubble if the character is sleeping. The mouth is drawn with a line or maybe two lines on the face. It could either be drawn like a cat or with a 3 to symbolize mischievous behavior, or it could be drawn like with a fang that may be peeking out of the character's mouth. So that's it for the facial features. Now we get to the hair colors. Hair colors all have a meaning. Things like white, which symbolizes peace and simplicity. Black symbolizes evilness and power. Red symbolizes love and aggression. Blue is calm and cold. Purple is wisdom and royalty, which is, why I have on my purple. Green symbolizes envy and luck. Brown is sophistication and endurance. Blonde is usually courage and wealth, which you see with a lot of princes with the blonde hair trope. Orange is exuberance and energy. Silver usually symbolizes wisdom or maturity. And pink, of course, represents femininity and kindness. Now that you got that down packed, next is the common character emotional symbols. So injury is usually shown by large or oversized swelling. Also, they might use a cross-white bandage. Anger is usually shown by sparks, or it could be shown with lightning between two people. Sadness is usually symbolized by a character with a drooping head. Or it could be drawn with many thin lines over the eyes or coarse tears, which is a sure indicator for sadness. Next is panic. Usually time that's shown with multiple limbs or the character disappearing altogether that shows the rushing or the character being in a panic. Nervousness. A lot of times they may show nervousness by having a character pushing two fingers together. And lastly, happiness and excitement are usually shown by having stars in the person's eyes, maybe tears, and also they use the hearts in the eyes to show infatuation or attraction to another person. Now, the next thing you guys should probably look into is understanding the vocabulary. I actually recently started learning Japanese. It goes a long way with being a manga artist or developing your own anime. Since it originated in Japan, a lot of it is in Japanese and it's subtitled or later on dubbed. But understanding the vocabulary helps where you can translate your work from Japanese to English or vice versa. But also, even though a lot of manga or anime is translated where you have subtitles or even dubs later on, a lot of the phrases or words won't be understandable unless you are a part of the world of manga and anime. So understanding that vocabulary is a key factor in drawing manga. Some of those phrases are in Japanese, so a rough understanding of the language will be a huge help for you. Some words like kawaii, which means cute, or baka, which means idiot. I personally like that one. But becoming a manga artist or learning to draw a manga is more than just coming up with a story. It's a lot of effort and it's a lot of rule and symbolism behind a lot of the artistic choices out there. So I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure you hit the like button over there. If you have any questions about anything I went over, make sure you go in and put those questions in the comment and I'll be happy to answer all of them for you. And if need be, I'll create another video to explain those. And if you guys couldn't quite catch everything from this video and you actually want it written down, you can check out the link below. I actually have the link for the counterpart article that's written for this video down below, so you can see a list of everything that I went over and a list of all the symbols and features and meanings behind them. Thank you guys for joining me again at Hironori's AASFF YouTube channel, and I will see you next time.